Welcome everybody to episode 68 of The Effing Title. And for today, my returning guest, it's Coop.
Yeah, the StoopGhost himself. What's happening, y'all?
What's happening? I kind of changed the intro up. So for everyone out there that doesn't know, normally I get into Discord or whatever we're going to talk on with my guest for 5-10 minutes, just kind of see how everyone's doing and how it's all going. We've kind of just been fucking firing our topics already, so we're all fucking hyped up. I'm all ready to fucking go. Coop's got his. I know for a fact he's got his cold ass water. I made 2 brand new waters just for this as well, just so you know.
Well, I got water and I got beer.
Oh, we're fucking.
So, yeah.
All right. Coop, tell everyone a little bit about yourself that don't know you from the last podcast or from some of the streams you've been in.
Okay. A little bit about me. I just kind of love stuff. I love stuff. I love watching stuff, ingesting stuff. Well, not ingesting stuff. That sounds weird. But
I mean, technically, you do like doing that, though.
I stream twitch.tv/StoopGhost, and I play difficult games, and I love all things pop culture, man. I'm a Renaissance man. I'm a Renaissance man.
It was one of those things where when I asked you yesterday, I was kind of feeling low down yesterday. So when I asked you and you were like, yeah, sure, immediately, I didn't even need to worry about trying to think of what topics we would do, because just like what you said, you're a Renaissance man, you kind of a little, little bit of everything. So I knew we'd be able to find fucking topics pretty easily.
Yeah, I stayed up. I stayed up looking for topics, and I was like, yo, gotta do this, but it's all good because we can talk about literally, we were just before the podcast went even live, we were chopping it up.
Yeah, we were easily just hitting on stuff. And also, just like the last podcast you were on, we literally talked about water for, I think it was almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, because your boy loves some ice water.
Your boy loves the ice water. We found that out.
Yeah.
But those aren't the topics for today, and the topics for today are kind of cool. We have adaptations, and I just kept it very simple like that. So it's ambiguous. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Just so it's kind of
ambiguous. Yeah.
The CW and anime. It's. I will say this. It's funny how because I was looking. The really funny thing is so a new Valorant video came out today, right? So I had to look back through my Instagram to find the last Valorant video I did, so I could copy the information from my Instagram post, right? And as I did that, I was like, okay, done, boom. So then I went to do my post for the podcast, and the person who was right there that I clicked on was Basic Gen. Don't know if you know Basic Gen or not. Hi, Basic Gen.
Yeah, I've seen this person.
Yeah, and we had talked about anime because she was a fan, because she likes anime, and it's funny thinking about how little I knew then, and that was back in January, and how much I know now.
Man, God of High School, man. God of High School. I think that God of High School truly indoctrinated you.
So I think that because it's funny because, like I said when I was talking to you, that's the first one that was that was mine. I came up with that. Dana told me to watch Death Note as the very first. This is your introduction to anime. You should watch Death Note, and I think she hit it on the head for me, really, with Death Note.
Yeah, I can see that too.
For me,
but like I said,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
I just think. No, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, so that was the first one. Then it was okay, well, I'm watching Hunter x Hunter. I don't know if you'd like it. You might like it. You might not like it. And I watched it on and off. It's one of those ones that I kind of if I'm bored. I watched a lot of it today. I've watched quite a bit of it today, because I've been bored, and doing stuff.
Well, speaking of anime, we can talk about live action adaptations. So,
like what you did there, I'll save all the rest of my anime stuff for later. Is Adaptations. So, this was when you wrote it to me. Of course, I had to ask you because the way that you wrote it was the quality of Adaptations, which in my head I didn't understand. And then as soon as you explained it, then I was like, okay, I understand now.
Hmm.
I'm gonna make this really fucking, you know, ambiguous. Just kind of boom. We're gonna talk about adaptations just in general.
Just in general, and that's kind of what I wanted too. So I'm glad you got that.
It's
Like,
it's and
okay,
it's funny because when I looked it up, because of course I look up the images to try and find for the thumbnail. I looked up adaptations, and all it
mhm.
kept showing me was animals. So eventually I was just like, fuck it, and I just made my own logo that just says adaptations. So like we have all the different like things like the CW logo, the logo of the two animes that I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about, and then it just says adaptations.
So the first live action from anime adaptation that anyone ever thinks about is Ghost in the Shell.
Ooh, okay, because I had two, and that was not going to be what I was going to say. So
I mean, if you got two,
so so
we'll add them to the list.
so the two that I had was Dragon Ball
Oh fuck! I didn't even want to talk about that shit.
and the Last Airbender. You can
No.
you can see where my head went. Where your
Yeah,
head went to the
exactly.
like the good. My head went straight for the negative.
Well, see, and I was gonna say that, like, my first thing to say about adaptations is that a lot of them are stigmatized
Mhm.
because, frankly, a lot of them are bad.
Yes.
Let's be real. You brought that up. Last Airbender, Dragon Ball, the Full Metal Alchemist adaptation
Wait, there's an
was
adaptation
bad.
on that?
Yeah, there is a live action adaptation of that.
Hmm.
Which, by the duality of it, there's also a live action Bleach that wasn't terrible.
Huh. Things I did not know.
So, like, I feel like at some point we're gonna have to stop stigmatizing adaptations and
Hmm.
trying to like see them for what they are.
Well, and like the other thing as well, and this kind of hits on a little bit of something that I talked about like 2 weeks ago with Coffee Mike. Um, I feel like it's tough bringing anything to a movie or to the big screen or that because it's always that stigma of it being bigger and better, no matter what it is, right? Because like we were talking about comics and DC stuff. And I was saying about how
Mhm.
it's tough for DC to do anything new when we have such iconic, legendary versions of all these characters. I mean, if I say name three Batman, it's really easy, right?
Mhm.
If I tell you to name
Mhm.
me every actor that's played Iron Man, no, you can only say Robert Downey Jr. You
You
can't
can only
tell me
say
the other
one. Yeah.
ones because I
Mhm.
think it's two others. I think same thing with Captain America, same thing with Thor, right? So so I think it kind of has the same thing with shifting from that over especially to like anime, where it's like these are
Mhm.
such legendary, iconic, you know, like this is how it's supposed to be. To try and make it go from there to movie is
Well,
just
okay,
or
so
live action, I guess is the way.
yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay, so you were talking about Robert Downey Jr.
Hmm.
Personally, I think that Iron Man 1 is the single best adaptation of all time. John Favreau popped off with that. And it
Okay.
wasn't even just that. Like, oh, okay. So I'll say this. He played Iron Man, Tony Stark, in a
Hmm.
movie, and they readjusted the artwork so that it would look like him in the comics.
So I will say this: I feel like they're starting to do that a little more, though,
I mean, but
because
this
of
was back in the day. This is
of course this
before
was.
all
I
this
mean,
stuff
yeah,
happened.
what this was 20. Oh God, I'm gonna see if I can do this without looking it up right now, and then I'll look it up. I want to say 2004. Am I right with that? I'm not right with that.
No, yeah, no, it
I'm
was
I'm an idiot about
2004.
that.
No, you're not an idiot.
Iron
I don't know
Man.
what year it was.
2008.
No, my eighth grade
Oh
year.
God damn, that was my freshman year of college.
Yeah, I think that, and then I
Ah,
think
Terrence Howard was in it as well.
yeah, and he goes next time,
Yeah,
baby,
next time, maybe.
and never
Nope.
comes back, and never comes
You know what?
back.
You know what?
But
Right there shows you that it's not the best adaptation. I'm just
I mean, I mean, but like Don Cheadle though. I mean, but
no.
Don Cheadle,
Yeah, I mean,
Don
Don
Cheadle.
Cheadle is a great actor.
I think that he played War Machine way better than Terrence ever could.
Um, I don't know because it's we're comparing Cheadle and let's see. So we have Iron Man 2, 3, Captain America, Civil War, the Avenger movies that he's in as well. I like it's too much to compare for me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Versus the one movie where he's not even playing the character yet.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
but no, I mean, I can
Yeah.
agree with you to an extent with this because I think that because of course, Iron Man was the one who that kind of set up the MCU, right? And fun
Yeah, but
facts for
I don't even credit that to him. I
well,
credit that to Jon Favreau.
well, and fun facts for everyone out there as well. The original Iron Man movie wasn't done by Disney.
No, it was not.
It was
It
before
was an
Disney.
independent film. It was
Yep.
an independent film.
It was
Jon
distributed by
Favreau,
Paramount.
what I say? Jon Favreau put that hoe on.
Yeah,
He was like,
He did. I mean, that's the thing. He did a really good job with it. I'm
mhm,
not. I mean, of
mhm.
course, everyone knows I'm not a fan of the MCU, but it's mainly because of what Disney has done to it. This is pre-Disney, so
Yeah.
I will say whatever the fuck I want to say about it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
go
no.
ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
You know, adaptations is such a weird one because like it's funny. I find it really funny because of course, like I said, it's the iconic thing, right? Like for me, one of my favorite ones that I love whenever people start running their mouth about stupid shit is immediately slapping them down with this. The fact that everyone says about how violent Batman was in Batman versus Superman, right?
I mean, Batman has always been fucking violent.
He's ultra violent in this. That's not my Batman. You know, that's not
What?
Batman. They don't understand Batman. And it's one of those things where it's like, if we're looking at source material and adapting it to the live action movies, like what we're talking
Mhm.
about, immediately after Jason Todd dies, Batman starts kind of crossing the line a little bit. And this is one of the things a lot of people
Yeah.
don't know because it was back in, I mean, what, the whole Jason Todd dying was in the 90s, 80s, I think.
The 90s because they had to vote for it, and that
Mhm.
was kind of
And
trash.
and it's one of those things where people don't remember that because it is so far back, and also people only watch the movies and don't read the comic books really anymore.
Well, see, it's not even just that though, because Bruce was also trained by the League of Assassins.
Exactly.
like,
But
like,
when Todd dies, he goes ultra violent and he starts like breaking bones. He starts like beating in teeth. He starts putting people in fucking hospitals. Like he starts going like really fucking like dark with it. And it's one of those things where it's like, as soon as you bring that up, it's like, oh yeah, no, but that doesn't matter, that doesn't count. And it's like, well, motherfucker, we're talking about adapting this from fucking like you saying that this isn't the Batman. I'm telling you that it is.
and that's the thing. Also, a lot that I find with people who love the Batman. I love the Batman, but I find mostly a lot of people like to have their own ideas of who Batman is. And I'm like, okay, well, you have all the information. You have all the information you need to understand who Batman is.
Exactly.
Like, there's an alternate timeline where his dad becomes Batman and keeps the fucking gun. Like,
his
killing people.
his dad is an alcoholic gambler who's literally just murdering people.
Exactly. The whole point of Batman is to understand that there's a teetering line, and you have to stay on the right side of that line unless you cross it, i.e., when Jason died.
And I think that the best adaptation of that is Under the Red Hood, the animated movie.
Yeah.
Because it's right at the end of the movie, and they hit it right on the head with what you were basically just saying. He's like, it's like, why couldn't you kill him? Why? And Batman's just like, I wanted to. But you know how fucking easy it would be to cross that line? But if I do, I am not coming back. And we actually have, I'm pretty sure there's a version of Batman somewhere where he fucking crosses the line and he doesn't fucking come back.
Well, yeah, there is.
So, I mean, it's one of those things, like, it's, so I feel like, especially, like, because, with us kind of talking anime to begin with, adapting anything that kind of has such a fucking powerful fan base to live action, it's one of those things, like, because of course now I just thought of Death Note, the live action version.
The Death Note adaptation was bad. Keith Smith was awesome in it, but that adaptation was bad.
I think William Dafoe doing the voice for Ryuk was okay. Right.
I agree with that.
I think that's a positive. But overall, though, like I remember, like when I first was hearing about Death Note from Dana and everything, and I'm like, okay, so what am I watching? Am I watching the movie? Am I watching? And as soon as I said that, she's like, "Don't you fucking dare!" Like I was like, "Well, okay."
Yeah, that seems like her.
Shit.
Don't you fucking dare is like one of her favorite phrases of all time.
Yeah, you know, so it's like,
Don't you fucking dare.
Shit. Like, okay. Like, but no, and it is interesting though, seeing, you know, how things are adapted, because of course, like recently we had Kevin Feige come out and say like, oh yeah, my bad. Like we shouldn't have whitewashed the ancient. We thought we were doing something unique and interesting or something like that.
So then I was like, you a bitch. That ain't shit. Sorry. Unique. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, as soon as he said I'm sitting there, and I was just like, it's like, did someone ask you about this? Like, why are you saying this? This just seems like a very weird thing to like kind of, you know, just like it's a very weird flex almost. But so Ghost in the Shell I haven't seen. Mainly because
so Ghost in the Shell was good, but it again, like going back to the whole stigmatizing thing, like okay, so Scarlett Johansson did play a good Colonel. She did. Like, but like a lot of people don't really understand the whole plight of Ghost in the Shell. Like, she was a human soul put inside of an android.
okay.
Or like a cyborg, I guess. And the whole like racial thing wasn't defined, right?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't defined. It wasn't defined in the anime, and it wasn't defined in the movie either. So the consciousness is a Japanese person, but the body is not and never was.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people kind of like, I'll say this about anime fans. They are a fan of zealotry for sure. But you probably need to have all the facts first before you do it, because like when you watch Ghost in the Shell, a lot of what they did was frame for frame what happened in the anime.
And that's one of the things I was going to bring up, you know, kind of in a minute here, was the fact that there are some adaptations that I think are incredible that get shit on because it is too accurate.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a new perspective.
So I'm going to hit on two. And they're both by the same director. So, of course, I mean, he gets a ton of flack anyway. You might be seeing where I'm going with this right now. But it's The Watchmen and 300.
I was talking about 300 to my dad earlier today.
Right, like they are both to the books almost fucking identical.
When Xerxes pulled up?
Like, I mean, most, because of course, for me, it's more Watchmen, right, than 300. Like, Watchmen, like, there's literally, like, pages just fully ripped out of the page and just thrown on the screen. And it's one of those things.
What is his name? The guy that died?
The comedian.
The comedian. Pretty much every scene he was in was ripped straight out of the books, like straight out of it.
Like, it's like, and it gets shit on.
I don't know why. I've always loved The Watchmen.
I mean, I'm in the same boat.
I've always loved it. I mean, it was really good too because, like, Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan is a good example of this. When he was like, "I'm tired." Living their little lives or whatever he said, but like that was directly from the fucking comics, and he even looked in the exact direction that he did in the comics. Like, what do you want?
I mean, and that's,
you know, what do you want? Like what do you want from Adaptations?
What do you want? I don't know.
Like, what do you want from Adaptations to make you feel like you're fulfilled?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that it's, and like I was saying, that's why I went on the kind of side rant with DC. It's just kind of like, I feel like depending on what it is, right? Like, if you take a very small, kind of no-name comic or something and you adapt it,
Mhm.
probably won't get a ton of like a bunch
Lobbying
of
for
flack,
Icon.
right?
Lobbying for Icon,
Oh my god, dude!
please.
If they fucking Icon is one of my favorite. God, now I can't think of the name of the fucking company. Oh man, god damn it! Because it's a part of DC, but it's not a part of DC.
It's owned by DC.
Yes, but it's what is the name of it though?
Mhm.
God damn it!
I can't remember right now because I'm gonna be completely transparent. Super drunk.
Nah, fine.
So
It's fine. Um,
the
Icon
call.
DC
Oh,
database. This isn't telling me anything. It's just telling me his origins. I know his origins. I know him. He's fucking awesome.
that was fucking great.
Milestone. Damn it.
Milestone.
Milestone
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, fuck.
comics. Yeah. No, I
Yep.
mean,
Yep.
I would love to. I would fucking love an Icon fucking live action.
I want an Icon series though.
Yes,
Yeah, I
I'm
want a
still.
series. I want a
I'm.
movie. I want a series.
I was talking. This is one of the things I was saying about with Comfy Mike like 2 weeks ago, and maybe
Hmm.
even Jagger last week. Um, I think that DC with HBO Max has something like a potential thing that they could do that would be such a game changer. Along the
Hmm.
same lines as what kind of you were seeing with Marvel, but completely just change it and do like,
Hmm.
okay, for instance, Icon, right? Icon and Rocket. Do an Icon and Rocket series. It's 10 episodes. They're fucking movie quality. Boom, done. That's it. It's one series. It's one season.
Exactly.
Tell
Exactly. And that would be correct,
Get a story.
frankly.
Get a story that you like that they've done with this character. Boom. There it is.
Mhm.
Can we make it 10 episodes? Yes. Do we have to do a little bit of like maneuvering to make 10 episodes? Yes. Fine. Boom, 10 episodes, done. And then what you do is you pump out 2 of them a year. Or one of them a year. I would even argue one of them a year just to make it a little bit easier. But there's
So like one of them a year is probably the better option because if you were doing two a year, the quality is
mhm,
bound to like, you know,
to drop.
degrade.
Yes. Because like my thing is this, right? There's so many random bullshit characters that you could do that would be an interesting one season, 10 episode thing. Captain Atom is
That
one that
boy.
that's one I've always thought of. Captain Atom, Grifter is another one. I'm a huge fan of Grifter. Um,
Yeah, Grifter. Yeah. Wait, didn't we talk about that once before? I
we
feel like
we
we
may
did.
have, we may have. Um, oh, so I drew a picture of Grifter at one point. I think I sent you it. Um, but like
Mm,
I mean, like imagine bringing back. I mean, you could easily do the Justice League Dark and just do it simply as each one gets their own series, and then you do a fucking at the end of it a 10 episode Justice League Dark show done.
see, okay, so on the back end of adaptations,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is my favorite adapted film?
Well, you just said Iron Man was the best one, but if it is the best, it might not be your favorite.
No, it's not my favorite.
It's a film.
Yeah,
Okay.
an animated film.
Ooh, an animated film.
Hmm.
It's 100% Dragon Ball.
Nope.
Piccolo is the best adaptation ever.
No, it's Superman Red Sun.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because
That's a yeah.
that was page for page,
Mm-hmm.
right for what happened.
The only because I'm assuming we're talking about the most recent adaptation of it, right?
Hmm.
The only thing that I wasn't a huge fan of is the changing the ending. I really liked the ending of the original or
Yeah, agreed.
of the book where it is, and spoilers for everyone that's out there that listening and hasn't watched this, go watch it. Where the planet advances so far and it's so far in the future, and that planet is now
Becomes new
it's
Krypton.
become Krypton, and then it sends a baby off, and now we're in the regular world sort of thing. I thought that was a
We're
really
in the regular
I
timeline.
I thought that was a really fucking cool twist that I didn't even see coming, didn't even know I needed.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
exactly. I mean, but at the same time, with Red Sun, like when he took Brainiac out into space,
Hmm.
it was a very Iron Man thing. And I'm telling you what, I was watching it and I literally just started crying. I was like, don't do this, man. Don't do this, man. And I hate Superman. I hate Superman. I am not a fan. But I was watching and I was like, come on, dog.
Well, that's one of the things that I was saying. Like, I hate it. I'm not. I mean, I feel like there's no people that are just like, yeah, Superman's okay. Or if there are, they're very
Yeah.
few, right? It's either you
Yeah, no,
fucking are die hard or you hate him. And I used to hate him
exactly.
until Man of
Oh no,
Steel.
I still do.
Man of Steel came out and
And
completely
that's
changed
funny.
everything for me.
That's really funny that we're talking about that now because that's one of my like main points in the CW.
Okay.
That's one of my main points in the CW. Superman and Lois changed the game.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's slide on into the CW then. I've yet to see it, but I've heard really good things.
Yeah, it just is good. Like
But
the CW as a network is bad.
we
Okay, let's
we
just be honest about that.
we gonna get to that in a minute. Uh,
The CW as a network is bad,
One of the things that I
but
did find interesting that I saw online was Superman and Lois. One of the main creators behind it, or that is Jeff Johns. Which, as we know, Jeff Johns is one of the voices behind the scenes that got the Snyder Cut removed and had all the changes made and everything. And then to see him moving forward and see all the different properties that he's done now and different things he's got his hands into, and seeing him taking things from the Snyder Cut and just using them in all these things has been kind of funny.
yeah.
Because like the black suit was like as soon as the black suit came up, it was something I saw online that was like it was like, oh, so we can't have the black suit in Zach's movie, but you can use the black suit in the TV show. Wink, like that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, bad
But see,
looks.
that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me about the black suit. A lot of people misunderstand
Mm-hmm.
the black suit,
Oh, of course.
and the black suit is a sign of revival.
Mm-hmm.
You came back from death. It's not evil or anything like that. You came back from death.
It's technically the suit that is supposed because of it being black, it's going to attract more heat, and as we all know, more sun and heat, and as we know, sun powers him and heals him basically. So the black
Yeah.
suit is it's as you're saying, it's a rebirth thing. Also, I will say this: I will never forgive. I mean, I'm never going to forgive Warner Brothers for a lot of things they've done. But I would never forgive them for just straight up, flat out telling Zach no to Henry Cavill's Superman having a mullet and a beard. I would never fucking forget them for that.
What? Well, okay.
Just because it's comic accurate, man. That was my thing. Is like Zach was like, "Look, it's like that in the comics. Like, so you're gonna tell me I can't do it like the comics, like that sort of thing."
But that would be weirdly presented.
Oh, of course.
Screen,
but at the same time, it's Henry. It's
Yeah.
Henry Cavill. That dude can make anything look fucking good.
Exactly, but we can't expect people who are just moviegoers to like know as much as we do. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't expect that. And that's what I'm saying with CW. So, Superman and Lois, it's fucking cool. I don't know shit about Superman. Well, I know a little bit about Superman, but I watched that and I removed myself from thinking about source material or anything like that.
Okay.
And I was just like, I'm gonna watch this as an isolated event.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it and it was great.
That's awesome.
It was great.
I've like I said, I've heard some really good things, and I've heard a couple negatives, just a couple.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. And Tyler Holchin,
Yep.
Is that how you say
I
it?
think that's how you say it.
He plays a fantastic Superman.
I when he first was cast, I was like, and then when I saw him in the first episode of Supergirl that he was in, I was like, this dude's a fucking joke. Like, get his fuck out of here, get him off the screen. And then of course, as the seasons went on and the more he was on, I was like, this dude isn't terrible,
Well,
and
you have to see him as Clark. Mm-hmm. You have to see him as Clark to like really get it. And like I watched it and I was like, yo, like when they go to that farm And they got a farm.
Mm,
And he's like, yo, this is where I grew up. I'm like, yo, I'm kind of with you
yeah.
as Superman. I'm with that. And that's my problem with the CW. They cast very well, but they do not produce very well at
Mm-hmm.
all. And they gave fucking Riverdale. They gave Riverdale an early renewal. An
Already?
early renewal. Yes. No, wait, way back.
Oh, really? Okay. Because I know they've
Yeah,
done. I know recently they've been saying about a little bit of renewals and stuff. So
yeah, no. Like the new season of Riverdale aired for like 4 episodes and they renewed it.
Jesus. I still have yet to
Hmm.
watch. I haven't watched a single episode. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched a single episode of that. Also, I'm behind on all my CW stuff as well. For everyone out there that knows, it doesn't know. Yeah, I suck.
Yeah, I'm up over this shit.
Coop's up
And
on all of it, and I just kind of every now and then I'll see pictures of stuff and ask him, and then he tells me, and there we go. That's
yeah, that's kind of what it is. And it kind of blew me because okay, Riverdale is the signification of a larger problem,
okay.
which and we're gonna get to it. It's gonna take some time, but we're gonna get to it. Riverdale is garbage.
The-
Is bad.
there's one actress in it that I love.
Betty.
I don't know the name, Scoop. I just know her like actor name, and even that is going to take me a while to find. So you just keep talking, and I'll look at my profile and figure out which one of them I'm following.
So Riverdale has been bad for a long time, but as I said, it's garbage. But it's like looking at a garbage fire. You can't look away from it.
It's one of those like it's almost like it's this. I would contribute it to this is the way that I've always tried to explain it to people. Is to me from when Coop talks about it right here, and anyone talk about it. It's almost like when you're bored and you're looking through the channels and you get to the sci-fi channel, and there's a sci-fi original movie.
I think that's actually kind of funny because
and it's like
one of
piranha
the
octopus versus T-Rex monster, and you're like,
spoiler alert.
click, like,
I'm gonna say spoiler alert for Riverdale. That's kind of funny that you said that because one of the main characters, Jughead, has been abducted by aliens.
they went to the alien route. Good, that's what Legends of Tomorrow did too. I love when TV shows get bored and they're just eventually like, you know what? Let's just do aliens.
I'm gonna say Riverdale is just a symptom, right? So you renew that because people like me, my dumbass, keep watching the garbage fire. We're gonna
But
keep watching it and watching it and watching it. But then it empowers the CW to think, I can make whatever the fuck I want.
see,
I can make whatever the fuck I want. That's where Powerpuff Girls came from.
well, I was gonna say as well. Like, I feel like that's right, but at the same time, like, I know for a fact we watched the shit out of Black Lightning.
Well, no, I love Black Lightning, but we're getting to that. We're getting really close. We're getting really close.
I was gonna say,
I didn't like Black Lightning at first.
Lily Reinhart is the name of the actress.
Really?
Yes, that's the name of the actress. Now let me figure out which character she plays. As soon as I figure this out.
Okay. Oh wait.
You probably it's Betty.
I said it already.
I didn't know the names, bro. Like you said Betty, and I'm like, I don't know. It's
well, no,
it's white thin girl with blonde hair. There, like
that is what I said though.
Yeah.
So yes, Black Lightning was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to the it's kind of like when something is sick and you can't exercise it.
Mm-hmm.
Black Lightning was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And this is lending to the fact that they put money and resources into a Powerpuff Girls pilot. Mm-hmm. And then when the pilot was bad, they were like, we got to rework it. But in the same time, they dropped Painkiller in favor of Powerpuff Girls.
So, for everyone out there that may not know this, the Powerpuff Girls is going to be a live-action show on the CW, where they have grown up. I think they're young adults. I think. I could be wrong about that, but yeah. So the pilot, I think it was the pilot, right? They dropped the pilot. Like they showed the pilot to a bunch of people,
Mm-hmm.
and the people were like, "This is trash."
What I said, they shot up there and it was bad, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna rework it."
And then the script leaked. Let me
And
read.
the script was
Let me read a little bit from the script. Blossom heads upstairs where the bumping sound continues. Continues from Buttercup's room, then abruptly stops. Blossom opens the door and finds Buttercup in bed with Macy, the woman she had eyed from the bar the night before. They've just, in quotations, finished. Blossom. Oh God, I'm sorry, Buttercup. It's fine. Looks to Macy. We're done, right? Macy. I'd say 6 times is enough. This is one. This is one of like 5 different things right here, by the way. Like,
yeah, I know. That was bad.
I'm here to pick up bi-curious townies. You're here to avoid Drake. Bubbles is here to investigate, but she forgot Butch hates her. Luckily, we're dealing with another hate boner, so alcohol helps. Blossom, why do you know so much about hate boners? Buttercup, life is one big hate boner.
I did read that one. I would say I did read that one. I did read that. Ew. Why would I want to think of my childhood characters like this? This is stupid.
Mojo Jojo. You mean she's not a white man? Question mark. You know, you hear about reverse discrimination, but until it happens to you, no offense, you totally earned your position. Optics don't hurt though.
So reverse racism is on the table. Live action.
Bloss, wake up or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. That worked on you once.
Ew. No.
She Buttercup says that, and then it says off Bubbles confusion. That worked on you once.
See, in this, this is what they would favor. This is what they would favor comparatively to Painkiller, which is an established character in their universe already, and Khalil plays the fuck out of that shit. He played the shit out of that. What's his real name? What's his real name? Khalil Payne. Jordan Calloway.
He some I'm gonna say this right now. I think he's gonna be a great actor. I mean, he already is, but I think that he's gonna get what movie was he in? He was in Countdown, I think, the phone app killing movie, which was trash. But I think that eventually he will get he's gonna go through like a couple more bullshit movies. Then he's gonna get one of those movies that kind of like really kind of shows him, and then it's gonna fucking just kick off from there. Personally, I think that.
It's kind of felt bad though, because
100%. I feel bad too because the character of Khalil, I was not a huge fan of. I will be straight up honest with you. I was not a huge fan of him. But as the seasons went on and you saw the more that they were doing with the character, I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. This is kind of cool how they brought him back. Okay, now he's like this. Okay, now he's fighting with like inner demons and himself. That's kind of fucking cool, and he's doing this, he's doing that. Like they continually just, and it may be just because like that's how he is in the comics, and I just don't know because I'm an idiot and don't read all of the source material. But like the more and more you saw of it, it was like, holy shit, like this character is very well done as a great actor, and there's this decent storyline here. And then as soon as they said they were going to make a spin-off of him, I'm like, that's cool. I wish they would just fucking make another season of Black Lightning, but okay, fair enough. I can live with the Painkiller show. And then, yeah, kind of like what you said. Nope. Instead, we're getting Bubbles fine. I saw her on Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw on LinkedIn that she got promoted. And I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa despite their political differences. Buttercup. Coming back here is probably triggering for her.
Oh my god.
Oh, let me Bubbles. Guys, how can you turn down an evil recon mission? Especially when said Mish would make a perfect story for my documentary. Bubbles is back. Buttercup. Not to be confused with your other film, Bubbles on Her Back.
I read this one too.
Like I don't.
It's so bad. It's just bad.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it, man. Like,
it's just bad. You don't have to get it. It's just bad. And the CW has made several bad choices over a long time. And for real, we should not respect the CW anymore.
I've said it for a little bit now. And of course, you and me have had this discussion multiple times, multiple different occasions. For me, the point for me when everything started to go full downhill was when the final season of Arrow happened.
Yeah, we have talked about that.
I think that at that point, that was, in my opinion, I think Arrow was the flagship show that kind of made the CW go from, oh, it's just one of those shows the old people watch, to an actual like contender.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then when they lost that, now they're trying to put out the pressure on all the other things. And the reason why the pressure wasn't on all those was because Arrow was helping it. Was helping everything. Because that was the main rock of the whole thing. And then they're just like, yeah, no, we're gonna take this out. It's gonna be 8 episodes. The final season's gonna suck. And we're not gonna do Green Arrow and the Canaries.
Which also got canceled in favor of Powerpuff Girls.
Which also had an incredible backdoor pilot in the final season of Arrow, along with Painkiller, who had from what I've read online, had a great
phenomenal backdoor pilot.
Like, oh my god! Like I was reading like some of the reviews on it. It was like this is the best episode of Black Lightning, probably, like that sort of thing. I was like, whoa, like, okay, like. No, but no, we need to know about Bubbles doing a porno.
Yeah, I guess that's where we're at. My ending thoughts on this is, fuck the CW.
Which I was gonna say. Can you tell me who the CW is run by?
No, I can't.
Warner Brothers.
Oh fuck. Fuck you, Warner Brothers. Fuck you, CW. Y'all made like 3 good things max, and I'm pissed about it. So if you want to talk to me, fucking call me. All right? Because that shit is bad.
I would say this as well. Like, if you look, because mainly I look at the CW and think the main thing for the CW was the Arrowverse.
Yeah, absolutely. Easily. And we also talked about how Legends of Tomorrow was just kind of a joke.
Like that
the whole time.
Like they tried to do something like cool and different with the first season of that, and that wasn't it, dog. And then they were like, okay, yeah, we're just gonna immediately just turn the funny button on, and then it's like, this kind of isn't it either, dog. And then it felt like every season has been like that for me with the Legends. It's just like every season, it's like I can, it's like Supergirl. It's a struggle to fucking watch.
It's a fumbling. They're just fumbling around. They're just fumbling around to each whatever. And Supergirl currently is not good.
I mean, I wouldn't even say current. I would just say it's just not. I mean, my thing is this: is that like every like, okay, Arrow, favorite character in Arrow, Oliver Queen. Kind of almost a unanimous, right? It's Oliver Queen.
Well, no, mine is Felicity.
Okay, still, right? Fine, Felicity. Favorite character in Flash? Barry Allen. Favorite character in Legends? Sarah Lance.
Yeah, Yeah.
or Constantine. But I mean, that's just a bias of mine because I like Constantine anyway. But I'll say Sarah
Well,
Lance.
Constantine, I also love Constantine, so
Okay,
we're in that together.
Black Lightning. Favorite character in Black Lightning is Black Lightning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jefferson. Jefferson's
Right.
my man.
Favorite character in Supergirl.
Um, Guardian.
John Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Guardian. Yeah, Guardian is definitely my favorite.
See how we're not saying like any of the like main casters. That's my thing. Is that like Supergirl has just been such a bumbling mess since the beginning. When they started trying to make the entire thing like, don't get me wrong. Okay, here with this, they made it. They were trying to push the feminist thing so fucking hard that they didn't get the point. And what I mean by that is
Yeah,
this:
well,
they
okay,
had an
well,
episode
yeah.
where the character was like, "Why is it Supergirl? Why can't it be Superwoman?"
We talked about this on the last podcast.
Exactly, right? They had the episode where it's like, oh, no one wants to be saved by Supergirl. Everyone wants to be saved by Superman. And it's like, do you guys not understand what's going on here?
I'll say this. I'll say this. I think that they tried way too fucking hard.
they that is
Like way too fucking hard. And the reason being, like, okay, so it doesn't take a rocket scientist to be just kind of good human. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist for that. And I thought that Kara was going to be a vehicle for that. But
Nope.
the writers thought otherwise. And I was just like, oh man, because like the first couple episodes of Supergirl, I loved it. I was like, yo,
It was kind of cool.
let's go.
Yeah,
I would say let's go.
It was something new. It's a character that we haven't really seen before, and they were doing it in a different, almost really a different way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But instead, they were just kind of like, let's make this a message. I'm like, or here's what you could do. You could just make a show and let the show be the message rather than writing in a bunch of stuff.
A bunch of bullshit lines that like it just I will say this: there's a lot of things that I think Supergirl did really well. I think the addition of Dreamer is possibly arguably one of the best decisions that the show made.
Awesome. Yes.
Like when they first like, oh, Dreamer, and then it's like it's a transgender hero. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it was kind of like one of those things where I felt like oh great, here we go. We're putting a character into a show because of things that are happening in the real world that just to push it in there, and just kind of force stuff in. Went online and looked. There is a transgender hero named fucking Dreamer. I'm like, okay, like fuck me, didn't know this. I don't know much about the Supergirl universe. I don't know, a lot of people that do, to be honest with you. Then they announced.
I was the one that even said.
Yeah, and then they announced a transgender actress playing it, and I'm like, okay, that's fucking cool. Like, I can't that's fucking cool. I just the entire thing with, I don't know, man. It's Supergirl the show has just been, I feel like, has been the letdown point of the entire Arrowverse, along with Legends.
I want to say I don't even think it was. I think that like what they tried to achieve with Supergirl is what they have currently achieved with Superman and Lois. You know what I'm saying? Like they just had bad writers prior.
It also doesn't help that it went from being on, was it NBC? The first season was on a different network, and then it did really bad on that network, and then it got put onto the CW. Then the CW finally got it, sort of thing. So that doesn't help it anyway. Because
we have spent so much time on the CW.
Did you know that's the only reason why the Flash made an appearance on Supergirl?
No, I actually didn't know that.
So they had to completely redo an entire episode of Flash that season, and they had to manipulate and change the way the episode worked so that he could bounce into Supergirl's universe, because Supergirl was doing so terribly on that network that they needed a boost, and they came to the CW and they were like, "Look, can we borrow the Flash for one episode?" Like that sort of thing. That's what saved Supergirl. And a lot of people don't know that. That's what saved Supergirl, was that one thing.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that. I mean, but like it shouldn't have been like that though, because the actress that they got to play Kara,
Melissa Bennett.
she's incredible.
Mm-hmm. She's
Like,
and here's another random fact for you. I'm full of them tonight. Mon-El, her in life husband.
oh, they got married.
Mm-hmm. That's why when you see their chemistry in the show, it's very genuine. Like it's not one of those ones where you're watching it. It's like this relationship looks so bad. Like nope.
So strange.
Yeah, it's like these two are just like this is just every day for them.
Yep. She's amazing. At, like when I think of Kara Zor-El, like not just because of the show. When I think about it in my head, I see this actress.
It's almost the same thing with me with Oliver now. When I think of Oliver Queen, I think of Stephen Amell.
Yeah,
like when he showed up in fucking in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he has the hockey mask on, and then he pulls it up. I was about to be like, my name is Oliver Queen. For the past 5 years, I've been stranded on a desert island. I was hoping that he was going to pull that shit. Just like
now I have to be something else,
right? I just
hockey man.
I was hoping there was like a behind the scenes thing of him doing that because that would have been beautiful.
That would have been beautiful. I would have enjoyed that.
It's the same thing like what you're saying with Melissa's Supergirl though. Like that, like she's Supergirl. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Like I know that
potential. Yeah.
I don't know who I don't remember who the DCEU Supergirl is gonna be. I forgot her name. Because the Flash movie is.
I forgot her name, but I would say I forgot her name, but I can see her face in my head.
Yeah, so can I. Yeah. It's just I'm trying not to think about the Flash movie until I see things from the Flash movie because from what I'm reading and seeing of the Flash movie, it's going to be a dumpster fire. So I'm just fucking keeping it out of my head. But again, no, like I don't think of her. I think of Melissa, and I think it's the same with a lot of the different with a lot of CW characters, and it might just be because we've never seen them before. But like Captain Cold and God, what's Mick's name? Because of course they don't ever use his real fucking Heatwave.
Heatwave.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say Heatwave.
Yeah, they fucking call him Mick every fucking season now. But like those two, like that's them.
Yeah, exactly. Leonard Snart has never been played better.
Yeah, personally. I mean, constant. I have been pushing for this, and you can ask fucking anyone. No one else should play Constantine but Matt Smith, I think his name is.
I'm gonna say we talked about this in the DM.
I've talked about this with so many people. Like he does such like I remember we were listening to something and he was talking about how Constantine is from the same area in the UK that he grew up in. Or close to the same area, so he can kind of manipulate his voice a little bit to that area. But then the thing is that he said is that like with Constantine traveling all over the place and getting all these different artifacts, obviously he would have picked up a little bit of an accent from these different areas. But certain words will always slip back to that English like thing. And he was like going over this, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, holy shit! I don't know if I've ever heard an actor like go into this much detail about just. Like talking about, what the accent is like for the character. I'm like done. Like as soon as the Swamp Thing TV show came out, I was like, boom, put him fucking on it. Get this thing moving now. Like, God, I wish that show would come back. And a surprising one that I don't know about you. I don't know if you watched the first season or not. Stargirl.
No, I still didn't watch it. You recommended it to me, but I still haven't.
That's one that I'm like. So for everyone out there that doesn't know, Stargirl was a HBO. Oh no, Stargirl was it DC Universe? It may have been DC Universe at the time. DC Universe HBO Max show that then eventually got moved to the CW. And I'm very worried that the quality and the way that the show is going to get ruined now going to the CW. Because there's a lot of things that they did, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, nope, they can't do this on the CW. And then it's like, this show's only going to be on the CW. And I'm like, well, fuck me. All right, well.
Well, fuck me. Well, I guess I guess fuck me, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Like that's the only thing you can really say.
well, like, that's the
Yeah,
thing.
that's the
Like,
only
I
thing you
mean,
can really say.
I think it's Luke Wilson. It is. It's Luke Wilson. Luke Wilson is the dad.
Oh yeah, he is. I can see his face in my head. Yeah.
So this was my thing, was like, that's not a small name.
Mm-mm.
Like, that's a big ass name. How the fuck are they gonna afford him and also do the fucking, the rest of the stuff?
Powerpuff Girls.
Right. Well, like, right. That's the thing. And then it's like, okay, so that's like, okay, so there's her. Then we go to his wife. You know who his wife is?
No, I actually don't.
Amy Smart.
Nah.
You see what I'm getting at now?
Yeah, a little bit. Cause like at first I wasn't following it, but like now I'm kind of following it. Like you could hear like the lull and me being like, okay, I'm trying to follow what you're saying.
Yeah,
But now I'm here.
the actors that they have some big name fucking actors in this show. With it being a DC Universe HBO Max thing, it's like, okay, yes, they could pay them to stay on the show. I don't know if they have that money at the CW, especially when we have Powerpuff Girls coming out.
Yeah, no way. They definitely don't.
And that's my worry, is that like eventually these characters are either going to, one, get killed off, or two, going to get replaced for people that look similar to them.
Oh, we don't want that. That I think that might be the worst cinematic thing, like getting replaced by someone who looks similar to them. Like, no, that's actually terrible.
That's my biggest thing, is that it's like, I love the season. I was honestly surprised how much I love the show. But like, it's one of those things where I'm not getting my hopes up. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, well, and that goes back to Adaptations. You probably should never get your hopes way high.
True.
For that. Like I try to keep my hopes kind of level. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no way it's gonna capture that exact same feeling of when you first ingested this narrative. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, period. Like, you can watch the movie, you can look at the series, you can do whatever you want, but the first time you open that book,
yep,
nothing is ever going to capture that same feeling. And I think that people should be more respectful of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that and of course, it's one of those things as well where it's like, well, what did you watch it for? Where did you see it first as well, right?
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things as well. Because, like, okay, there are tons of people who have never picked up a Batman comic but saw Dark Knight first.
Exactly. Oh, Christian Bale is the best Batman we've ever had. Okay. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
That was a good callback.
That was one of the throwbacks that I did when I was talking with Comfy Mike, is I said that, imagine Christian Bale's Batman going up against Jared Leto's Joker. Leto's Joker is going to kill him.
Literally.
Real fast. And I was like, I was like, same thing. Imagine Batfleck versus fucking Heath Ledger's Joker. Like,
he would beat the fuck out of that man too quickly. It wouldn't even be fair.
And that was my big thing with it. Is like, it's like, you have to separate every universe. You have to separate everything you think of, and that's where it comes into like the kind of your mindset with it, right? And how you're thinking of it. Like, nope, you gotta bring that shit away from each other. But yeah, no, the CW is such a fucking shit show these days. Like,
no, it's kind of the worst best. Okay, the worst best. Okay, so me, Jagger was taking me home one day, and he had to pull over, and he ran over something, like roadkill.
Okay.
And the only thing I could say was, "That's a smell."
That's a smell.
And that is exactly what the fucking CW is. That's a smell.
Oh my
That's a
god.
smell.
That's a
And
smell.
that is it.
That's fucking
Yeah.
funny. I love that.
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
god. Well,
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. We're
mm,
moving on to anime,
yep.
and moving on to anime, I only have one thing to say.
Ooh, okay.
Only one.
All the things to say. Got it.
Rest in peace, Kentaro Senpai.
I don't know what that means, but sure.
The author of Berserk died.
Oh, yes. Fucking Jagger told me about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He
No, no,
died.
no, no, Jagger. It was Billy. Billy told me about this because in Final Fantasy they had like a giant fucking memorial in game.
Dark Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sensei.
Yeah.
Bro, rest in peace, my man. Rest in peace. He gave one of the greatest stories in all of fiction. And that's the only thing I had to say on that.
Hey, I mean, um, so for me, the reason why I picked anime was because I've been watching a little bit more. Like we kind of hit on at the very beginning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dana told me to watch one, and she told me I might like Hunter x Hunter. Kind of started watching Hunter x Hunter. I watched it every now and then. Then of course, then Castlevania happened.
And you watched that,
In 13 hours.
yeah, in a day.
Yeah.
I was gonna say in a day. Like I was gonna say expeditiously, but like that's not
Nah.
accurate.
Yeah, no. Yeah, she was like, "You need to watch this," and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, like right now," and I was like, "This is fucking serious." Okay, okay, I watched like that sort of thing, and like that's how it started. And then like after like maybe 3 episodes, it was one of those things where it's like, I'm not leaving this chair for at least 5 hours, and then it was like 5 hours went by, and it's like, I need to do yoga. And I don't want to though. And I was like, I think I even messaged her. I was like, I don't know if I should do my yoga or not, like that sort of thing. And I didn't.
I'm a Viking. I like boats.
I fucking
God brand.
Godbrand was the
God
funniest
brand.
fucking character the last maybe 2 episodes that I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I like boats. I'm a Viking. Oh my god, he was so fucking. He was such a fucking cool character. But like that whole thing. Like at first, it was one of those things. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm watching it because it's important. You know, and like she thinks it's important. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch a couple episodes. Boom, done. Like that sort of thing, right?
Right, yeah.
But then after a couple episodes, I couldn't do that anymore. I was like, nah, like this is too fucking cool. I can't believe I haven't fucking been watching this. Like, you know, I'm finishing this.
Yep, it had to be done. And well, that's another thing. I mean, in closing, because I definitely have to pee. I don't want to cut your show short, but I was talking to my dad earlier about anime,
Mhm.
and he said that anime triggers the imagination.
Yes.
The people who create these things and write these things, they're doing it as a form of triggering the imagination. And I think that that's probably the purest form of art. Making people think and doing it in any way that you can.
Mm.
I thought that was sick.
That is, I mean, it was funny that you said that as well because, like, of course, like, so those are the three that she told me to watch,
Mm.
and then since then I've watched two by myself that I just found.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Proud of you, by the way.
God of High School.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking shit!
Amazing.
I was like screaming like a little girl during the final fight. Like I fucking loved that so much, and I'm sitting there like it had a weird feelings to me too because, like I said, it was the first thing that I had ever chosen to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was fucking invested. And then the most recent one I watched, kind of a little bit different, was Roka Braves of the Six Flowers.
Oh my fucking god! How did I know you were gonna watch Braves? I knew it. I knew it.
I watched this and I like I told Dana I was watching it. And I was like, and she's like, I've never heard of that before, like that sort of thing.
I fucking knew it.
And I said to her, I was like, I'm gonna tear this right now. There's 2 episodes left. I still don't understand what's happening.
Well,
like
it's a mystery. It's a mystery anime. That's kind of the whole point.
And that's the thing is like I don't
know what the fuck is going on.
I don't think that's what I thought it was gonna be. So like while I'm watching it, I'm just kind of like I'm so confused. Oh,
Well,
this is so confusing.
Here's the thing about Roka. Roka is Among Us, the anime.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that is a great example of it. It was one of those things where it's like I felt the entire time I felt like there was, because of course with a lot of these things, the world is already so established, and I think this is one of the reasons why I never liked when I was like really got into anime as a kid or in high school, was because like the world's already established, everything's there, and then you just dropped right into the middle of it.
Yeah. Actually, that is pretty accurate for a lot.
And
for a lot of anime.
And I feel like as a teenager that just wanted to be fucking entertained, and also, I was, jock at that time as well, so that doesn't help. I couldn't do it because there was like I always felt like it's like, well, why is this happening? What's that about? Why is this like this? Like I needed to know those things. Now as an adult, I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Let's just see what fucking happens. Like.
I mean, but that does make a lot of sense because when you said that, the only thing I could think of was the establishing shot in Naruto where
I tried watching that in high school. I got 1 episode in and I was like, no, I'm done. I don't get it. I was like, this dude's super fast and he can like, and then he's over there somewhere. And I'm like, I don't get it. No, off.
Yeah,
fuck this shit. Where's Vegeta? Like,
fuck this shit. Where's Vegeta? Man. Oh, we've had a good talk today, Husky.
We have had a good talk, and
real good talk.
Save your bladder. That is the end of it. I've been watching more anime, and I will still continue to watch more anime. I was looking at Amazon Prime today to see what there was for anime on there, and it's kind of funny.
No, you're gonna watch Vinland Saga.
Is that Saga. See, I saw that on there, and I was like, that's too on the nose.
No, it's not too on the nose. You're really gonna like it. Watch Vinland Saga.
All right, there we go. I guess I'm watching Vinland Saga next. Thank you, Coop, for stopping by today. I know that you got to pee, so I don't want to fucking hold you up.
No, absolutely. I appreciate you having me on the podcast. I hope that it was good.
Oh, of course it was. For everyone out there, like you said earlier, Coop streams on Twitch. I'm going to leave the link to it down in the description. Yet again, thank you for saving my ass so I didn't have to do this one myself. And as always, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we talk to y'all later. Bye.
Peace.